We are the Lab Doctors. I'm Amanda.
I'm Dorothy.
And I'm Zhao Yong.
We are biomedical researchers who realized we still have a lot to learn about science.
So why not join us on this quest?
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Lab Doctors podcast. So this week and next week we'll be talking about Friends.
Friends.
Yes. Not the
Like
TV
the
series. As in like literal friends.
Okay.
So this two-part friendship episode is actually inspired by the Am I Normal series by Mona Chalabi.
What's that?
I don't know if you've heard of it. So it's
No.
part of the TED Audio Collective. So you know TED Talks, they have
Okay.
like... Yeah, so the title of this series is Am I Normal? So I'll link it...
Am I normal?
Yeah.
I keep hearing am I.
Oh.
Like-
Sorry.
MIT.
Yeah.
Am I
I.
as in like the person?
I.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll link the episode in the description. It's about 22 minutes. And this specific episode is called How Many Friends Do I Need?
Ooh.
Yes. But before we get into the numbers in the second part, so that's next week, let's first talk about making and losing friends. Okay, so before we even get to anything, my first question is, what is your criteria for considering someone your friend?
I think I'll go first. Zhao Yong has a face of, I don't need friends.
Wow.
I'll go
Moving
first.
on.
I think for me, like as you grow up, I realize there needs to be mutual effort in the friendship. You don't need to meet like very often. You can meet even like once a year or once in 3 years. Depends on like where you're staying in the world. But like as long as you make an effort and the other party makes an effort, then I think we can stay as friends.
Okay. Should I go next before you?
Sure.
Okay, so we've asked this question before, but my criteria is previously was just having a somewhat deeper than surface level conversation with someone, which is very like low threshold to become my friend. So I found out over the past year that I actually have one more criteria, and that is that I have to at least care about the person. So it's not that I wish harm on anyone or I want anyone to have a bad life, but there's just some people who I realize that I don't really worry too much about. Like, sure, I'll feel sad if I hear that something happened to them, but I don't really think about them. So that's my one extra criteria of considering someone my friend. So I think maybe I'm a bit more stringent now. Okay, so Zhao Yong.
Yeah, so for me, I feel like it's always like how it affects me. So if the person dies and I don't feel anything, I mean like, you can be the pleasantries of like, oh yeah, don't speak ill of the dead, that kind of thing. Yeah, I won't speak ill of the dead, but that doesn't mean I feel for the dead. So like, yeah, if they die and I don't feel anything, then they're not my friend.
Oh, okay. That's a good yardstick, I guess. Fair.
Are we your friends then? What if we die?
No, you don't need to die for me to know.
Then you wouldn't know until the person's like end of the life.
Yeah, so that's
can't you
the
just
rules.
imagine
Like, then you
it?
just
Yeah.
treat everyone, fairly, equally, and then when they die, then you're like, oh, they were my friend.
Do you even treat everyone fairly and equally?
Yeah, I feel like I do.
No.
Do I not?
No.
Okay, moving back to friendship because I feel like we're veering far away from friendship already. Okay, I'll accept that, but like maybe you'll have to elaborate more as we go on.
Yeah.
But
we'll
that's fine. Yeah, we'll
fine-tune
talk
it,
about it more.
fine-tune
Yeah,
it,
yeah. Okay, so the second question is, do you make friends easily?
No.
No.
I'm so introverted nowadays.
Because a friend is really someone that I really want to care about. Okay, so I guess that's another. Yeah. So it just takes a lot of energy to get to know new people and then like expand this friend circle. So I'm just like, okay, I'll be nice. Doesn't mean you're my friend. Yeah.
Okay, I guess my answer is yes. I think I do, but I may be too loose with my criteria for friendship, which I don't think like I'm fine with. So whatever.
Like as in maybe they are your friends initially because like you make an effort to talk to them, you meet someone new, right? And you try to form a connection. But then after a while they just become an acquaintance. Like
Yeah.
you don't keep in contact with them. So I feel maybe yes, I make friends easily, but to stay as my friend and to be in my friend circle like that I want to meet up and I want to talk to, or even if I don't talk to you, I will still like once in a while talk to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with Dorothy about the whole mutual part. I feel like that's a bit of what I need also.
Yeah, I've written off people who have not been mutual. And I
Okay,
haven't talked
we'll
to
get to
them.
that. We'll get to that. Okay, so the next question is, do you think the other is friendly? So we'll start with Dorothy. Do you think Dorothy is friendly?
Oh.
Yeah, I think so.
Same.
So if I die.
No. Like not whether you're a good friend, like whether you're
Oh,
friendly.
friendly.
Yeah. Oh, but okay, no shade to Dorothy, but sometimes she got like RBF.
Oh yes.
But then
That's what a
like
lot of
once
people
you
say.
talk to her,
No, but-
she's like quite friendly.
Yeah, but that's like whether or not you're approachable. Whether or not you're friendly is like another thing.
That's
it's like,
the difference.
Yeah, so I think I'm a severely unapproachable person.
Okay, wait. So do you think Zhao Yong is friendly?
Excuse you.
You're not approachable. Actually, both of you are not approachable. But I feel like once we started talking, you guys are friendly. So
okay. Yes. Like,
Right? Yeah.
like Zhao Yong actually makes an effort to strike a conversation.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't keep it awkward at the table or stuff like that.
I try.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try.
And he replies you and stuff like that, which is what some people don't. It's like you're just talking to yourself.
Yeah. They're like, when you talk to them and their reply is just, okay. Yeah.
Oh.
okay, which actually leads us to our next question.
What about you, man?
Oh, right.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah,
Oh my
she's
God.
very friendly.
Am I approachable?
And approachable.
Yeah.
In fact, you're so approachable, it's like in the negative region, which means you approach people constantly rather than they approach
Oh,
you.
yes.
I always ask Amanda for help in the lab.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like she's the one who helps the most.
I feel like Amanda will always approach me and be like, do you need help? And I'm like, no, I'm fine.
Okay, back to the friends topic. I guess we already went into this a bit, but what's your strategy for making friends? So one of Zhao Yong's is...
Strategy? I have to have a strategy.
No, I mean how do you approach making a friend, I guess? Like one of the things you said was like you just try and make conversation and not make things awkward, right?
Oh no, that's what Dorothy said about me.
Oh, right.
But yeah.
I guess, okay, so maybe I'll start. My strategy is pretty simple. Just smile and be nice and ask questions, and also don't be afraid of answering honestly. So it doesn't have to be like so complicated. It's just like when you meet a new person and you want to make friends, what do you do?
You see, that's the thing. I don't want to.
Okay, that's fine.
I think previously, like, cause in school and in uni, when you start uni, right, you are forced to, in terms of you attend orientation camps, you're forced to be making friends. And so I feel then, like, I make a lot of friends, but nowadays it's like you don't really meet new people, so you don't actively make a lot of friends. But yeah, even then I agree with Amanda, like, I'm not a very private person. So if people ask me something about my private life, like my family, or they always ask about traffic light status, and then I'll just be like, yeah, just answer lah, like.
What?
No, the traffic light status is basically your relationship status.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Single, complicated, or what? Attached.
Okay, anyway. So basically just be open to talking to someone, right?
And make an effort, like don't just say oh.
Yeah, being open to talking to someone.
Okay.
So for me, as in personally, because again, it's like I don't actively want to try and make friends. But if you talk to me, I'm not going to be an asshole and not reply you.
Oh yeah.
With just those are just like, then
Unless
you might
you've
as well
written off
don't
the
talk.
person.
It's a bit, yeah. And so if you talk to me, I'm going to be replying you like...
It's
I'm
like
gonna,
being politically correct, right? You have to
a bit,
at the start.
Yeah, at the start at least. And so if a person even approaches me and talks to me, I feel like that's like they are already overcoming a very big barrier because again, I'm very unapproachable. So I would put in the effort to talk to them also. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm glad y'all mentioned all that. So this actually finally brings us to the first study that we'll talk about today. So as I go through the findings, feel free to comment or jump in at any time. Okay. So the first is this study published by Jeffrey Hall in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships. And the title of the study is How Many Hours Does It Take to Make a Friend? But actually it also goes through things like how we make friends or like what are the dynamics and everything. So shared activities, shared talking points and like things in common. But I feel like the bulk of the research that they did was about the time. So all the numbers are the estimated amount of hours needed such that the chances of transition is greater than 50%. Okay, so I know this sounds like kind of complicated. So we'll go through the first level. So from acquaintance to casual friends. So it says you have to spend about 40 to 60 hours in the first 6 weeks for the chances of transition from acquaintance to casual friends is above 50%. Okay, so all the numbers that I'm going to say is like to
the
make
threshold.
that switch. Yeah. So that's actually a lot when you think about it because that's like 6 to 10 hours per week. And they said that like out of all the things that they looked at, time is one of the most important factors for making friends. Which is why like the bulk of the research is on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so then maybe I'll go through all of them. So from casual friends to friends, it's about 57 hours in 3 weeks or 164 hours over 3 months. So this is about 13 to 19 hours per week you have to spend with someone to go from casual friends to friends. And then finally, the last one is friends to good or best friends, which this number is like crazy, but it says 119 hours over 3 weeks, that's almost 40 hours per week.
What?
Or 219 hours over 3 months. So that's like about 17 hours per week. Which, I mean, honestly, when I thought about this, I was like, the only people that I see more than 40 hours per week are my colleagues.
Precisely, that's what I was about to say. It's like, that's why you only... my friends are my colleagues.
Yeah, like your
Nowadays.
colleagues, or like in the past, when in your school days, it's your classmates. Yeah, your schoolmates. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And is it like, so once you pass that 6 weeks or that how many months, right? Then they stay as that level of friend forever?
Okay. Yeah, so not forever. You still have to invest a certain amount of hours, but then it's like not really known because like by then like your relationship evolves, things change, so they can't really like study that as much. Like how many hours, like because you can't follow people around, I guess, forever, and it's difficult as well. So this is like how much time it takes to make a friend and how much time it takes for that friend to change into like different levels of friendship. So what do you think about these numbers, I guess?
I think they make sense.
Yeah.
But I don't like the idea of casual friends.
What's casual friends?
Just higher than acquaintance, lower than friend.
Like you'll say hi. No, I'll say hi to an acquaintance. No, I won't say hi to an acquaintance.
I guess that's your casual friend then.
Yeah.
I guess maybe it's an acquaintance, you won't say hi. Casual friends, you'll say, you nod or acknowledge as you walk past. Friend is like, you might stop if you have the time to make small talk. And then go our best friend is like, you will
meet up.
Yeah.
Okay. I will.
I don't like the idea of a casual friend. I just don't.
Okay. No, that's fine.
I feel I've never categorized people below like my group. No, below the friend level.
Yeah. For me, it's like friend acquaintance. There's no casual friend.
Okay, that's fine.
I do agree with the hours. Like, it really talks about like how your friends were your classmates, and your friends today are still either your classmates or your colleagues because you spend the most time with them. It's not someone you randomly meet on the street or you had a 1 day workshop with.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
So like you can... No, but I feel like you...
He has a 1 day workshop friend.
I went for a lot of workshops last year, okay?
I feel like you can still, like 1 day workshop can, but like then you will actively try and arrange a meet up with this person still. Yeah. So for me, this kind of reconciles one thing, which is the whole where people say their partners are their best friends. I freaking hate that because I'm like, why is your heart so small? I mean, coming from a person that's like, I don't want friends. Why is your heart so small that you can only have like your partner is also your best friend? Like why can't you have two, a partner and a best friend? And then there are also a lot of implications to which I find very disgusting by saying that your partner is your best friend. But like now it makes sense because if it's like a more time based, a more like, it's depending on the frequency at which I spend my time with this person.
And like just the sheer amount of time.
Yeah. If that is the metric that we are going by.
Major criteria.
Yeah, like what we are going to classify as best friend.
Does it make it more acceptable?
It makes it more acceptable by this definition.
Okay.
Not mine. Moving on.
Okay, so we've talked about making friends. Let's talk about losing friends. So the next study is titled Managing Relationship Decay. So it's actually by Sam Roberts and Robin Dunbar. And we'll be talking about Dunbar more next week. But basically, there's like a few findings that I just want to talk about from this study. So the first study found that kin relationships are more stable than friendships and are more resistant to changes in location and circumstance. Okay, so then the next one is friendships are constrained by network size. So we'll be talking about numbers more next week, but basically it's saying that there is a limit to the amount of friends you can have or that you can function with.
Yeah.
Okay, so here if you are investing more time and energy into making new friends, then it's at the detriment of your old friends. Yeah, because there's like that limit that you're hitting. And the last finding that I want to talk about is, it may be a bit reductive, but I thought it was worth mentioning. So the decline in friendship quality was mitigated by increased effort invested in the relationship.
Yay!
But with a striking gender difference. So relationship decline was prevented most by increased contact frequency for females. So that's like talking more and like meeting more. But for males, it's by doing more activities together. That's what like prevents the loss of friendship.
What do you mean doing activities together? Because females also do it.
D&D, board games,
Sports.
games.
Yeah.
So females just talk.
Like for females, it's enough to just meet up and talk.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like contact frequency. Whereas for males, it's activities together. So it's not enough to just, meet up and talk, I guess.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so that's just like the findings, right? But I guess my last question for this week is, what are some reasons that you guys have lost a friend?
Yeah, I'll stick to the principle where I really respect someone if they make an effort to meet me. So like I've written off people whom like I've tried to meet and then they're always like too busy. And then slowly I'll just be like, yeah, you say you're too busy. Then when you're free, you tell me. And they didn't. So it's just like, okay, I've written you off.
Yeah.
And then, so I go by that principle where the friendship has decayed. I really like the term decay. I'm going to say
Tooth decay.
the
This is a
friendship
cavity.
has decayed.
This person is a cavity in my life.
Yeah, and then on the contrary, I had a friend who I have not talked to in 3 years because she has been in the US, and then at most I only say like happy birthday. And like recently when she came back to Singapore after so long because of COVID, she asked to meet me, and I'm like,
There you go.
I feel bad now because I didn't put as much of an effort into the friendship. But moving forward, I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna make effort also. So.
Actually, so it seems like you kind of track with all these studies that time matters and that effort matters and that increased contact frequency with your friends.
And I do agree. I feel like, okay, so when like I see the guys, how they interact, they really like meet up and then they'll be like, okay, let's play game. Like, let's play the Switch together.
Yeah, they have to do something.
Yeah. I'll be like, don't y'all want to just continue talking? Then no, like they want to play poker or they want to gamble. And I'm like, why do you want to lose money? But then girls, we can just like talk the whole night. Just dinner and talk.
Okay, so interesting because being a guy.
Okay, which is why I disclaimer that this might be a bit reductive because there's not just one type.
But I agree. So I feel like my brain kind of code switches depending on who I'm meeting. So like I've noticed that when I meet guy friends, they're freaking boring conversationalists. Like seriously, as in even including myself, do I become boring? No, as in sometimes I'll ask questions and then it never gets deeper than like Marvel or like some like pop culture thing. And I don't know, in my brain that feels damn boring. So when I meet my guy friends, I'm like, yeah, I'd much rather just play a game, do something else because they just suck at talking. And so when I meet friends that are more predominantly female, then
all the tea.
yeah, in a sense, and it's a very different like conversation. But I feel like I'm happy to do both because it kind of fulfills that requirement in my brain.
I'm happy to do both also. Except for losing money while gambling. But
the gambling part, I'm like, no. But like board games, whatever.
Going out to do some activities. I think once in a while, it's not bad.
Yeah. Oh, but then when I play board games with my female friends, I feel like they get bored of it very easily.
Oh
yeah. So like I know Amanda doesn't really like board games, but that's just you. But
it's my competitive nature, which I don't think people can handle.
Maybe it depends on the game also.
Depends on the game also. Yeah, depends on the game.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess I'll just answer before we close today's episode. So besides the time invested and like Dorothy mentioned, also distance, like if someone moves away, it's very difficult to maintain like a friendship at the level that it once was. But I think for me, over the past few years, the thing that has made me lose a friend is changing values or beliefs. Yeah, which I feel like I didn't really read about in this study, but it really makes a difference to me because I think as I grow older, I realize that like I learn more about myself and I learn more about like what I believe in and like I hold closer to the values because last time maybe when I was young, my values are other people's values. But then now as I develop my own values and beliefs, then I feel like it's more mine, which gives me less tolerance for like when it's different from other people. Yeah. So that whole like you only find me when you want something, not even need. Like I'm fine if you find me if you need me.
Yeah. Like let's say I need to talk to you about my relationship.
Too little, too late, man. Get out right there.
Okay, so like one of my whole things is selfishness. I really don't. I mean, it's not a bad trait that like makes you an evil person or a bad person, but it's just something that I don't agree with. So like I don't like people who are selfish. So that's why I feel very weird if you only come and find me when you want something, because it's a very selfish relationship. Are you my friend because I have something to offer?
Yeah.
Or are you my friend because you actually care about me? So that's one of the things. So yeah, kind of depressing note to end. But it's okay. Like, that's how relationships and friendships work, I guess.
I feel like all these boundaries are good because then it reinforces the relationships that you already have, because you know that these are the people that I choose to have in my life, rather than I let anyone into my life and then I feel bad because I don't know why I feel bad, because like, why is this person so
I
bad?
think for me also last time, it's like every time I lose a friend, I would feel bad because I'm like, oh, it's like growing up, losing a friend. But then I realized some people just have a bad effect on my mental health.
Yeah.
And then I have to accept that like losing friends is not always bad. Even for me, like hopefully not for the other person also.
Yeah. But I think ultimately it still comes down to your own like personal beliefs and how much you can tolerate
true,
or
true,
whatever.
true.
Yeah, because I know there are people who are perfectly fine being, I mean, what I would define as used.
Yeah.
But like they are perfectly fine with it and they are still healthy, they're happy.
Yeah.
Then if you're that kind of person, it's like
They don't get affected by it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like I'm so fragile and like affected by these things. And I'm
Yeah,
like, why
same.
can't I just be chill, you know? But anyway.
It's just what we need. So if it doesn't affect you, that's great. If it does, hopefully you find this relatable, I guess. And as usual, subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Spotify. You can give us a rating now on Spotify, or I guess anywhere you listen, but I only ever check Spotify, so please
You can rate on
gratify
Apple
me.
Podcasts.
Okay, yeah, Apple Podcast too.
You can also follow us on our social media, Instagram, Twitter or Facebook, and feel free to DM us any questions you have.
Alternatively, you can email us at thelabdoctors@gmail.com. We'll post all the links in the episode description, so check them out. And see you next week for part 2. Bye.
See you next
Bye.
week.